welcome. We're live from Xi'an, China for the World Cyber Games 2019.
No, nice. They're all on the cliff! Onto the cliff! In the meanwhile, we've got Drace hiding in the back. He's going to be able to pick up the double kill.
It's in trouble, he comes to Storm on low, Colin will use defensively, tries to save the no!
Oh no, they're not going to be able to do it!
Look at that! He's going to end the game on a core here. We see on the core, and that's going to be game!
And welcome back, everybody, to Xi'an 2019 for WCG, their grand finals. It is our final game of Honor Kings here today, our third place match between KSSC and AG.Y. I'm Opal, joined by Pyra. After a small break, the teams have had a chance to, regain their focus a bit. You've had yourself now some downtime. Now you're heading into your third place match. $20,000 on the line. What are they feeling like?
Well, right now they got to be feeling disappointed that they couldn't go for more, but Opal, as you said it, they had time to cool down. They were long matches that they had to go up against their opposition there. I think for KSSC it obviously stings a bit that they don't get to go for the rematch in the finals against D-Team. However, they should be feeling confident that they can beat AG.Y, who did manage to keep pace with D-Team in that 31-minute back and forth. AG.Y, it's kind of hard to know exactly what to make of this team, to be completely honest.
Yeah, and this is actually a rather popular org that we've seen here at the tournament. You guys even saw it during that little promo video. There's AG.Y fans from multiple titles here. So the org is needing to represent, and unfortunately they weren't able to, like you mentioned, get ourselves into their grand finals, trying to take down D-Team. Again, one of our tournament favorites heading into the game. But speaking of heading, we're going to go straight into pick and ban for game one of our third place match. AG.Y on your blue side, KSSC on the red, and we'll see what the priority is going to be here, because again, KSSC, they were so close to getting that rematch like you mentioned, but they just weren't able to pull it back.
Yep, and this is going to be it, the last chance saloon to get some prize money here. $20,000 on the line in this best of three. Bans coming in. We see Old Master removed. That is something that KSSC did look for quite a bit in our last series today. Tyrant actually banned away. AG.Y definitely did their homework.
Doing a bit of their homework. We also see the Old Master being banned out, as well as for KSSC getting rid of our long-range clear mage. We'll see what their final hero ban's going to be, and it's going to be the Guangsong Li being banned out here, so already a marksman taken off the board.
KSC, they lose on this hero twice in that series, and they say, you know what, nobody gets Guangsong Li. We're not going to let this happen. Let's see what the first pick is. We've seen a lot of Lubus on blue side first.
A lot of Lubus on blue side. I'd almost like to see the Yukio, though, taken away from KSSC, because they have been relying heavily on it. And it's always good to go for a first pick, though there could also be, our feathered friend coming back in from the jungle. He's made it through our ban phase to start things off, but no, Pengu going to get locked in.
They love Pengu, man. I'm not 100% sure why. It does have some strength, but, we're going to get to see KSSC managing to pick themselves up an early marksman. The Marco Polo was perma-banned last series, and now they get their hands on it first, and they will as well pick up that signature Yukio. I'm certain they'll let this one be picked up.
I think you go ahead and pick this one up, that or the Lubu like you mentioned, but nope.
You can do it later if it doesn't get countered.
The Yukio. I think for AG.Y here, though, I think you go get that Lubu and you go get your feathered friend in the jungle right away, because those are pretty much your top two, and then you got your side lane. You also then have, of course, your split, your jungle secured as well.
They go for a marksman of themselves. They take the DRNG.
Wow, okay. DRNG going to be picked up here, so we saw that last time around. That would give KSSC just a full option on picking up this Lubu here if they wanted to go for it, even the Guangyo. Oh, Guangyo instead.
Well, okay, so there's some big front line for KSSC. This is starting to look like a pretty solid composition being built for that lineup. For AG.Y, what do you want to see added on their side?
Well, I'd like to see their, proper mage at this point, because now they're
getting left last.
Yeah, I guess they're hoping maybe that gets first pick during the second pick rotation for KSSC. As they'll have the first one coming back from our second ban phase, and maybe they want to try and go for a counter pick. Not exactly sure, because they, like we said, they could have gone ahead and they pick up a marksman to get a counter for the Marco.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge front line right now for AG.Y, having picked up that other tank for them, the Zhang Fei. I want to see what they add to it. There's a lot of these mid lane mages still available, and I think they're just contemplating which ones they would rather not face off against.
We'll see here.
Oh, they're still banning frontline.
Yeah, might as well get rid of some of the supports. Supports have not been picked up for either side.
No, Dunshan. Dunshan's really been hitting the ban column quite a lot over the course of today. And then Jingmenji in the final ban column. That's one of those mages. Big AoE bomber damage. But I think AG.Y have plenty of tricks up their sleeve already.
Honestly, though, from what we've seen of the bomber, I think we haven't only seen one win of the teams.
There's been a couple of bans, but yeah, only one team, and I think it was.
That was
You're right.
Gio.
Yeah, it was Gio that actually
Smith.
favored the Zhengmengji.
Smith was playing it. That was Douglas himself. So we'll see here. What does KSSC want to actually pick up after this final ban comes through for AG.Y? They only got a couple more seconds as they think it out. I think you might get rid of Totem as well. There it is.
They do. Good call. Last second.
So that's
going
to...
yeah, of course, it's going to open up the Demon Cow.
Oh, man.
Wait a minute. One thing we forgot about the Guiguai-Ji, they
No.
didn't take it last time. Now they go back to the Toro. I like this better. I think we saw a little better play on it, to be honest.
I think KSSC are getting the better of this draft. Personally, I like the CC more.
I do. It just depends on the execution right now. And there are a couple of other strong picks that AG.Y can still go for. It looks like we will get our mage locked in. And the Luba was... I can't believe Luba made it all the way to like final picks.
Final pick would be, yeah. That also likely means that's going to be the Pengyu in the jungle rather than the side lane.
Yep.
Which,
so Moon God is still being hovered.
Which we did see V-Star actually use in their series against KSSC just earlier. Like you mentioned, Moon Goddess could be locked in, some decent AoE damage as well as single target focus. That does allow, though, KSSC to get a full hard counter in the mid lane if they want to go for it.
That's a red side advantage, my friend. Doesn't matter the MOBA. That always stays true.
I still like the amount of CC that's available already for KSSC.
Oh, Puppet Master switch up at the last second.
Oh, okay.
That's new. We saw this earlier today in one game. It didn't quite work out.
Puppet Master and the Miyu getting also locked in here by AG.Y.
I feel like that changes things a little bit here.
Now I'm interested to see what KSSC actually respond with this.
I mean, do you think they can just go for the Moon Goddess themselves?
They could. Or you could go with something like, we haven't seen the Painter that often. I think we've seen it once, and it was by a Western team, so they were still pretty new to it.
We had kind of a smattering of picks from our Western teams. A lot of them still getting used to the particulars of Honor of Kings comparatively.
When you talk, though, to any of the AOV players or Kings players that have been, translating it from Chinese, they have been saying, when it comes to solo queue, she is a very popular pick. The Moon Goddess is, a 50-50. In competitive, it works really well. In solo queue, it can actually not be as good, but it is going to go ahead and get locked in, so... We'll be seeing that on Wuji in the mid lane.
Yeah, you said earlier on that you thought KSSC was getting the better of the draft. I wholeheartedly agree with you in this situation. I really like what their composition has to offer. It's layered CC. You've got a lot of burst damage coming to that Moon Goddess. You've got Marco Polo, who I know you have some mixed feelings on. I think he's a very, very strong marksman.
When you look at this, who's actually going to be able to catch the Marco Polo?
Exactly, nobody.
Like, the Lubu can try and ult into the back line, but he has a blink.
And the Puppet Master can maybe spy out a little bit more. Like there is a utility advantage on the side of AG.Y, but in a straight up 5v5, I absolutely prefer what KSSC is bringing.
Yeah, we'll have to see though, as we haven't seen a Miyu get fully utilized to its full potential. Last time we saw it was from V-Star, and we saw VV just kind of jumping into the middle of the fight and then getting instantly
Honestly, that's
bursted.
what lost them that first game. Not in an instant, but just so much mispositioning from V-Star's side.
Yeah. Well, they have a chance here on the side of course, AG.Y, whether or not they're going to actually be able to do the very same as we head on into Game 1 of our semifinal. 2 cores locks you in $20,000 US. The other one sends you home packing.
Pretty big difference there in the results for that third place match, but we have moved on to the Valley of Kings. Wu Wei starting things off on horseback. Guan Yu, very mobile frontliner.
I like that skin kind of turns the carry into Twisted. Oh, Ice Horse, but also the mid lane here from Xi right here.
Oh,
turns you into Twisted Fate from League.
Yeah, pretty much. He's literally just throwing cards at people. I like Ice Horse. It reminds me of White Walkers, which is my favorite part of Game of Thrones. But there's a blue buff contest here.
It's going to get secured there by Yukio, so Wuji is going to be successful there, and that's going to slow down the side of AG.Y on their clear, especially on the Pengyu.
It's a good start for KSSC, not just because they took the blue buff away, but because Wuji's the one that got it. Remember, the Yukio in last series, it wasn't nearly as effective as we've come to expect from KSSC.
And you also see Moon Goddess just trying to steal away some of the caps. They're trying to just siphon as much gold out of Pengyu's jungle before he can even get to the buff.
And the 2v2 up in the top side. We don't often see this. A lot more roaming has happened in other series, but AG.Y keeping pace as best they can, utilizing their marksman to kind of match up against that of KSSC. And the blue ends up going to Wuji after all the Moon Goddess managing to pick that one up. Yeah.
So, of course, that is going to be some quick ones here. Is Chinya, again, just comes in. That's pretty simple. Gets some little bit of damage poke from there with the shards, and then ends off going back.
Your move, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Your move. Poached.
I wouldn't be surprised if he says it's time to duel in Mandarin.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, that's our Go player.
That's
he
true.
He lays down the battle board.
By the way, I love this game because you got to give him the first blood because Shannon found himself on the wrong side of the Moon Goddess.
Wuji going to be able to pick it up, so even with the Puppet Master being what we would call a very safe pick in most scenarios, gets caught out immediately. First blood for KSSC.
What do you expect? What's a Puppet going to do against the Moon?
I swear, Pyra, if he throws another Moon at me, he's going to lose it.
Oh,
look at this,
though.
That
one. 1C is in a little bit of trouble here, but they do turn it around with Shannon and the Puppet Master as they try to take away the red buff, blue buff, I should say, once again. Xiao and Gio. Xiaoyi actually trying to get this one down. They will secure it for you. Kyo, the Wuji, manages to pick it up again.
Risky fight here by both squads, but no one walks away with a fatality. It's only the blue buff secured in the end here by Wuji. And that will allow another blue buff to go onto the Moon Goddess, allow their mid lane to get a little bit more harassment, a little bit more cooldown reduction. Let's see, KSSC just going to get some poke damage there from Wuji, cannot fully commit.
No casualties other than that first blood, but not for lack of trying. Neither of these teams are pulling their punches today, Opal. As you mentioned, it's the difference between $20,000 and zilch.
And you know what? It's that game 1, too. We talked about momentum during a series. We've seen it brought back and forth in both our semifinals here today. But you want to start off with, only needing one more core to actually take home the victory in your match heading into game 2.
Looks like we've got a swap up with the two. Well, not a full lane swap, rather. The Pengu is just going to join the Miyui down in the bot, trying to get the kill onto Guanyo we see down there, but Yukio's joined it, so it's fine.
Doesn't look like, though.
Wu does get taken low, though.
Gets taken low. Wu-Wei's still about half health. He's going to be all right for now.
I thought there was going to be more of a fight than there was. It looks like it's focusing around the river, though.
Focusing around the river. Again, Tyrant has not been secured by either squad, but here comes the rest of KSSC.
Oh, 1C.
Boom! There's that CC, and finds it with a beautiful prediction coming out from Wuji. Double kill goes on into the mid lane, and with that should be at least the first tier tower, and possibly even the Tyrant.
Nicely played by KSSC to stack those kills up, and they will be able to secure the tower down bottom with 3, just clearing through the jungle, see if they can sniff anybody else out. And this is looking pretty good for that second qualifier in this redemption story for them. They may not have a chance to face off against D-Team in that final, but they can still put their stamp on this game. And Marco Polo coming up with a kill onto 2s.
Yeah, Xiaoyi just guns them down across the wall, so a nice, easy pickup with the Tyrant as well. That's going to accelerate their gold up by 2,500, and Xiao just looking for this onto Shi, has the ultimate available, finds the knock up into another one, jumping on in, is able to gun him down left and right. Xiaoyi going to go ahead, pick up another kill, and that should be the second tower of the game for KSSC.
On the wrong side of those boomsticks, and that's another kill coming in for the Toro. They should be able to pick up tower soon enough. Chenon moving in to defend it here. Puppet Master does manage to push them back for now, but it just seems every time AG.Y takes one step ahead, KSSC send them back too.
And Zhao H almost looking like a mad cow at this point. Gets bloodthirsty, finds 2 kills up in the top lane. You like to see that maybe go into your carry, but nonetheless, it's still a 3,500 gold advantage for KSSC at 5 minutes.
And look at the map control right now. They're controlling the river entrances. They're keeping AG.Y locked within their own half of the map, not giving them access to that information. You can't sneak out and get a ward. There's no wards in Honor of Kings. You gotta be putting yourself in that position, and the Puppet Master is supposed to be able to do it, but he can't without overextending.
Let's see, KSSC might be looking to set up a play. Wuji getting a little too far forward, is able to get back into safety. Ultimates are going to be popped in response. Xiao is able to find in. Yukio is going to be the one picking up the kill, but it looks like AG.Y might be wanting to restart the fight, but instead disengaged because Wuji able to get a decent amount of damage in response.
Yeah, Wuji has to be a little careful. They ran the risk there of pushing a little too far forward without any mana and barely any health. Xiaoyi is able to push Sheik all the way back. The shutdown onto the Moon Goddess does happen, so there is a turnaround, but Chenan will pay for it with his own life.
Chenan gets taken out here, is able to get the 1 kill in return, the first one of the game for AG.Y, but at what cost? Now there's pressure going back in towards your lane. One cruel thing here, though, for AG.Y was the fact they were able to pick up their first tower of the game in bot lane with a nice shove coming out from A's. Want to see, though, how Xiaoyi is going to get out of this one. Gets decent damage back. It does have Wuji coming over for support.
You can't catch the Marco Polo. That man blinks way too darn fast. We've already set it up. But it did look like he was flirting with danger for a few seconds. 6.5 minutes into this game, Opal, we do see a big push out. But there's a pause coming in at the moment by KSSC.
Our first pause here, actually, on our broadcast.
Yeah, things have been pretty smooth. It looks like that was just a very brief one. So we will be getting back in the game. And I think Shannon's happy about that. He's been running in place for 5 seconds.
You know, just maybe a small lag spike coming out there on the client, so they just wanted to make sure everything was fine. Other than that, maybe a device got disconnected for a split second. Either way, we're back into the action. Wuji looking to just try and steal away the blue buff. Not going to happen, though. It is secured there by 1C. Wuji has one of his own, but look at this. You have 4 members on the side of KSSC, maybe even 5 at this point, heading toward the bot side of the map from mid lane. Tyrant spawning in about 15 seconds.
Tyrant number 2, and it's a minute before the Overlord hits the Rift. I think KSSC is going to be feeling pretty good about this if they can take the fight.
Looking for it possibly. Xiao jumps in, but just disengages immediately, so KSSC cannot start the fight. Needs some damage coming back onto Shi, though, and he's got to be careful.
All right, Tyrant chased off for now. Xiao looking into this brush. He does spot 2s.
Tyrant has been started, though, by the side of AG.Y. Going to come in for a steal. It's not going to happen. Tengu is able to secure it. Xiao jumps into the middle of the fight. Not able to get the ultimate off in time. Is burning. Gets over towards safety.
That was a bit too bold,
Wuji, unfortunately, has to kite back and should be able to get back to safety. But in the end, it is, of course, going to be the Tyrant going in favor of AG.Y for the cost of mid lane tower.
It was a 2-man army of KSSC to try and finish that, but the rest of the cavalry has arrived to try and clear out this fight. They will push AG.Y out of their own jungle for just a moment, but the Overlord is on the map in 2 seconds. You cannot afford to lose a fight. That could turn into a snowball. Wu Wei making his way through there, and A's actually got him tethered up.
A's, he's going to run, though, into 3 members, so has to back off here. Like you mentioned, Overlord has now joined us onto the map. Xiaoyi just going to look to try and clear back the minions in bot lane to apply some pressure. So maybe his team can look to start to set up toward the top side here of Overlord. And we see Wuji and Xiao rotate up.
Yeah, KSSC spent a lot of time around the back of that pit of the Tyrants, and maybe just wondering, how could we give that one away? We're so good at Tyrants.
There it is, started up here by KSSC. 3 members in the pit. 2 going to peek in here, does find himself a pretty large cow. He is thinking about maybe going for this, but already Overlord was shredded apart by KSSC and AG.Y. The issue is, I feel like they're giving too much respect now to KSSC, as Storm is rolling in, and now they have to deal with the buff.
No, I think you're right. KSSC just had a great setup there. They utilized their Toro to really stop that ingress out of the jungle, and now Xiao, he's able to just keep them at bay. Overlord comes in, that means we got the mini dragons starting to jump.
Bring themselves into the lane, apply some pressure naturally here for KSSC, as AG.Y need to find an answer here shortly. They're wanting to hang on to their second-tier towers. Oftentimes when we see these inner towers get taken down, this is where the map starts to lose a lot of control, and Ace cannot be the one here, but here comes the rest of the team. Chen,
they're gonna take him down.
Puppet Master, able to dodge away from the ultimate. Beautiful play. Isn't enough damage, though.
How did they live?
Here comes Xiao, though, over toward the side, gets the knock up with the ultimate, trying to push on back. Wuji now with the Moon God is able to get damage, but no one falls.
Tag in, tag out. That's the name of the game right now. KSSC, they just escaped from the jaws of death right there. And meanwhile, Wuji just soloing on the towers. They've got a Yukio on their bot and no one's watching.
And this is the issue with the Yukios. Now he's also finished off the Master's Force. Can do additional damage off the autos. And oh my goodness.
Goodbye, DRNG. The Moon just got chucked at him from the sky.
2Z trying to back off. Here comes a re-engage, though, from Wei. Isn't able to fully commit, though, over toward the side. Is Chen now jumping in with the puppet, not able to do anything else. KSSC wants to start off this fight. It's going to be a 3-man knock-up. Not enough, though, as the Dragon is still pushing in toward the tower. They need to clear this minion in time. Is it going to be enough, though? Still, there's decent amount of poke, and they are able to clear it, but bot lane they have to deal with.
Looks like things are starting to push away from AG.Y here. They're trying to focus on the 5v5 fight, but they're leaving their flanks unprotected. Wuji tethered up low, but manages to walk away. A's can't close the gap.
A's jumping in, unfortunately, still not enough damage on this mage, almost siphoning damage as it would, and that will start up another Tyrant in favor of KSSC. They decide to back off, though, and looking to bait.
Yeah, you stretch yourself a little thin here by trying to have Wuji solo it the entire time, but they were looking to bait and switch it onto twos right there as he does manage to leap to safety. Tyrant gets started up, but this time Wuji's there, the rest of the team in tow. This should be picked up. I don't think the health bars are quite there for AG.Y.
Overlord buff has dissipated. It's going to be back up in about 90 seconds. AG.Y, there has to be a point where they take this fight. There has to be a point where they say, we are not going to let KSSC take anymore. It's now a 7,000 gold lead. Sure, you have a lot of freestanding gold on the table if they're able to win a fight, but they need to take it at some point.
Yeah, and the item difference is already bought and paid for, right? You've got to actually get yourself in there and manage to take a fight where you have a disadvantage. Then you can start to even things up. But that's a tough ask against the likes of KSSC, especially a KSSC that is angry from losing that last series.
See here, Xiao over toward the side, not going to go for a full commit just yet as 4 members of KSSC, and you look at C at 1. Oh, he's being rushed down possibly by Wuji, but he gets back to safety. Look back toward the top side, though. 3 to 4 members positioning themselves aggressively, waiting for the minion wave to crash.
This is such a deadly 4-1 because so much pressure gets drawn by Wuji, and the rest of the team guarantees themselves a numbers advantage when that happens. It looks like they're going to be focusing their attention up there, though. The trap tries to get shut here by AG.Y. The Puppet Master goes in, can't quite find enough.
Xiaoyi going to kite back, was tethered there by A's, but does not fully commit. Wuji also going ahead and pick up some armor for himself off that. Wuji gets a little caught out. That's a 2-man knock-up here. Wuji over toward the side, takes down the tower. There's no more safety here for AG.Y, and A's needs to get out of there, needs to get back to safety, ends up just dashing into the Moon Goddess herself, but does back off in time. Overlord, though, up in 15.
Tag in, tag out. That's what KSSC do. They do a great job of juggling the aggression from AG.Y, and now with the Overlord up in a few seconds, they're healthy enough to start this one off and force AG.Y to move to them. Otherwise, might as well just be GG, that second Overlord. They're going to be able to get a big push off it.
And you got to think in the heads now of AG.Y, what are you planning on doing here? If this is how you're going to play this game, if you're not going to go for aggressive plays like this
moon
and maybe catching off members, but you need to actually finish her off. There it is. They catch themselves out the Moon Goddess, but meanwhile, it's a killing spree. They got the marksman already, and KSSC, they can continue on forwards. Sure, maybe you're able to split them apart. There comes the Marco Polo toward the side. A's jumps right back in, has the invulnerability, but meanwhile, it's already going to be another kill for KSSC.
KSSC lose one, they get 2 back for themselves. Opal taking down Chenon and Sheik. The reaction from KSSC so good. Even when Wuji was caught out a little too far forward, they won't go for the Overlord now. Instead, they try to take down twos. They do get it. The Marco Polo with the final shot, and it's onto the mid lane.
Minions now crashing in onto the tower, and Xiao with a beautiful flash forward on the ultimate gets the knock-up, but they're not able to get anything else as Wu just clears out the minions. That's a cannon minion now in the base. They're going to have to deal with it here on the side of AG.Y.
High ground turret taken down. Those do not respawn.
And that's always going to be super minions now crashing through your mid lane. Someone has to deal with it, and that allows full map control to KSSC, now adding on to now their second Overlord buff, an over 10,000 gold mountain for AG.Y to climb.
KSSC have this game in their hands. It is theirs to lose, theirs to throw, and I think after that last series, they're not going to be too keen to let it happen. Chenon, obviously trying to harass and harangue them around the side, but he's relatively safe with that puppet return. Wu-Wei, though, is having absolutely none of it.
We'll see here. There's a flank, and A's a little too far forward, has the invulnerability, does get back to safety. KSSC, naturally, those minions are going to push in from mid lane. Bot lane is also being staggered. That should be a push back to them at some point here shortly.
Here come the mini dragons, too. It's going to be a little bit of a slow march for them, but at this point, KSSC, they're just going to try and close out on 3 lanes.
I want to see, though, KSSC make the proactive call. Get in there, make
Big
the
knock-up.
fight. 3-man knockup is going to find its target. Wuji is able to trade back some damage over toward the side, but still no members of AG.Y finish, because guess what? Wuji's in the bot lane pushing these minions in. Someone has to pull the trigger. Someone has to make the decision here for AG.Y.
Yeah, that Wandering Samurai Wuji, he just keeps on keeping the pressure in the lanes. He's finally rejoined his team, but AG.Y, they're running out of places to defend, and the first of the Vanguard is arriving.
Wu-Wei almost finishing off the Puppet Master there. Shen's able to get back toward the fountain, and they just clear out the minions. Now there's nothing pushing back for AG.Y. And vulnerability here for A's will get them back to safety, able to sidestep away from the knockup. But now comes in engage. 1C wants to jump in there. Wuji, though, can easily just back off, poke him, and say, stand still.
The disengage from KSSC is good enough to deny pressure from AG.Y. Counter engages matches, and that's not good enough for AG.Y at this point. They have to win a fight. They have to turn the tempo around, but they're losing slowly, being bled out here by KSSC.
And like you mentioned, it's just a slow death, it seems, at this point, as KSSC are slowly just suffocating all the gold out of AG.Y's jungle. They're taking everything. They continue the push. There's going to be another Overlord. This is concerning, though, I think, for KSSC, is the fact they've not been able to close out this game just yet.
They're not committing to the fights here. It does seem like it's a bit of a different KSSC than we saw in the last series. Maybe they're afraid of getting aced, of losing out on the tempo game, so they just want to keep the pressure up rather than win a fight. However, they do find A's.
Gets back to safety with the invulnerability. They try and clear out the mini dragon. They will do so, but guess what? In top lane, that's going to be another high ground tower falling apart as KSSC still 5 members in the base. 1 dragon. That might be enough for them to do it, but they still are not pulling the triggers just yet. A's jumping into the back line, tries to get a little bit of damage. Zhao goes for the flash ultimate. It doesn't work out, though, because minions now are crashing in onto the core, and KSSC still have yet to pull the trigger to end this game.
They're just trying to let the minions do their dirty work at this point, but AG.Y are standing firm. They're holding on. They are denying the end of this one as they keep the health bars a little low, and here's the counter engage for AG.Y.
They need to make a call here. There's the Marco Polo in the lane. Look at that damage, though, coming out from the Moon Dodge. Swim behind. Woewei tries to jump in, but still cannot find any kill. How has no one died yet from AG.Y at this point? Super Minions now crashing in from 3 lanes, and finally they find their mark. Finally they find the side laner. Is it enough, though, for KSSC to finally push? It doesn't look like it.
A's finally goes down after so many tantalizing moments there for KSSC. They finally find their mark. It's a 5v4. They've got all of the towers down. It's just the core, but this is the final fight.
Wuji gets down extremely low, though, has to back off. Zhao able to go for the knock-up. Minions are going to start crashing in. Core is now exposed. They find Pengu, and that might be enough here for KSSC to finally go ahead and take game 1, but still they cannot finish, it seems. Moon God is
just hit the core.
In.
You got this.
Someone's going to do it, and finally taking down everyone and making them bleed in game 1.
Oh, death by 1,000 cuts, Opal. They finally get the core. I think you're right. It is concerning they couldn't close it out as fast as it could have been, but AG.Y clinging on to life for so long in that game. The MVP goes to Xiaoyi. The Marco Polo ends deathless at 3-0 and 6.
For AG.Y, we came into this comp and we said, later the game goes, I don't favor it here at this point. Jinan, like you've seen here, on the Puppet Master, just not able to do a whole lot. Sure had 25% of the damage, but there's nothing else for the team to follow up with.
I think the issue here is that Sheik just did not pull his weight on the Direnji. Did less damage than the Puppet Master, and the Puppet Master's a little bit more utility focused. I want to see a different kind of marksman coming through here. Obviously, Gongsun Lee got banned away. They could have gotten Marco Polo for themselves earlier in the draft, and I think AG.Y, they might have mind-gamed themselves a little bit.
Again, it's a possibility, too, there, because honestly, I felt like they just like you mentioned, 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, there were so many power picks up that they actually left. Like the bird person was not picked up, and that was kind of let through for the rest of it. I think there was a lot more they could have done in the draft, but it was also they just never got a fight because it was such a slippery side of KSSC denying them engagements.
And there was, like you mentioned, there was always CC from the side of KSSC, always somehow available. And there was also times where they kept jumping in, like A's was trying really hard to start something.
I'm surprised A's didn't die more often because A's was literally frontlining that game.
And that's the thing. With that, again, that kit, you're allowed to go invulnerable and soak up some damage.
Turn into a little wisp.
Yeah, you kind of turn into a bit of a wisp, but you can't solo carry on that, especially in competitive, especially when you're going against tanks.
No, Wisp's not known for doing a lot of damage. If I remember my Warcraft.
They just kind of float by and you're like, oh.
And they make kind of like that sparkly noise.
Oh, you like the sparkly noise?
I do like the sparkly noise.
I always go with the slight breeze noise.
Hey, breeze is good, actually. It's like sparkly breeze. Let's go with that. Fire powers combined.
We're getting a breeze right now on the desk.
It's actually quite nice.
It's really nice.
But you know what's not cooling off? The action between these two teams.
No, and KSSC, they only need one more core to take home $20,000 for
place
themselves
title
here.
Yeah.
Sure, you're fighting for third place, but you might as well get that consolation prize.
Well, look, it still counts for a lot, and obviously the money is a nice thing to pocket as well. I think KSSC, apart from some really troubling issues in that last series, look like one of the strongest teams of this tournament. I mean, they are in the third place matchup. I think they very well could have beaten V-Star if they hadn't gotten just honestly kind of demolished in that last series. It was a chance for them, so it's very close. It's a lot of parity here between all of these teams representing China in the top 4. But when it comes down to it, AG.Y, they just didn't have a way into this game, and I think it starts with the draft.
It just felt like they just didn't want to play. was my big thing there. It
Well,
felt
A's
like
wanted to play.
they wanted to play, but they just weren't
Yeah.
going to make the decision to, hey, we should take a fight. Hey, we should go for a pick. It felt like there just wasn't a shot caller on the team.
Yeah, that might have been an issue. And, maybe it's just, again, it's a stage thing. They played earlier in the day. We talked about mental toughness in the last series. Well, it's hard to recover after a 31-minute game that you lose to D-Team, especially when they were one game up.
Yeah.
And then,
that's
they
my
also,
thing.
they also got crushed in the next game.
They held that game for so long. They can't keep trying their best at trying to make their way back into the game.
Yeah.
And one thing we've noticed from AG.Y is their early games are just not good.
No, and I think they don't do themselves favors with what they pick.
Yeah. And KSSC, they're also another team that can be very wishy-washy in that early game.
But hit or miss is better than miss or miss. I think that's the key right now. The early game can favor them.
Unfortunately, you only got 2 chances at hitting or missing. If you miss the first time, you only get the next chance. If you don't hit, then you're pretty much done. It's over. It's only a best of 3.
What do you think AG.Y, what is the one fixable thing they need to do for this next game?
See, for me, I'm not exactly sure until we see what kind of draft they're going for. I think it's the play style is the issue, not necessarily picks, because it just didn't feel proactive. I always saw KSSC making their way into the jungle. I always saw Wuji getting into the jungle, denying vision, denying
Also keeping the
camps.
sideline pressure. He was a constant thorn in the side of KSSC. Yes, there was an advantage, but that was one of the ways he got the advantage. He started by just solo sieging that outer tower, and he never stopped.
Yeah, at this point, I just say, you know what, pick for a team fight and actually fight.
Yeah.
That might be your best opportunity. Again, it feels...
And pick a real mage.
It's hard to decide
Pick a real mage. They had Moon Goddess available, and they let it get away.
Yeah, it's really hard to say what a team should do when they don't really do anything the game before. You just need them to actually play their style instead of just letting the other team kind of just walk all over them.
Yeah, that is definitely the issue right now. I want to see what they'll end up actually changing, and I think when you pointed out that it seemed like it was disorganized, like there wasn't a shot caller, again, I wonder if that is just fatigue at this point. For them, it's the final game of the tournament. They're on the back foot right now. This is the last chance at kind of achieving that glory, the third place, the $20,000 for yourselves, and kind of having your name etched on the board. And you talked about fans. AG.Y is a very popular organization here in China. They're definitely going to be seeing people cheering for them. They need to draw some of that energy. They need to shake off the fatigue and turn the series around.
Yeah, because especially the hometown, well, that's the thing. You could say hometown favorites.
I mean, it's both, to be fair.
Everyone has the hometown advantage
now that it's all China.
Yeah, it's all China. We're in Xi'an. Everyone's just cheering.
We are literally in the center of China. This is it's very central.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, geographically, I mean.
I don't even know if you call it geographically.
It's pretty central.
Yeah, it's like if we had to be another couple hours.
Come on, man. I've been to 3 other Chinese cities. I've been to Shanghai.
So you just trying to assume
Beijing.
that you
This
know.
is way further central than either of those coastal cities, I'll have you know.
Beijing is not a coastal.
Okay, but it's closer to the coast than this. Excuse me.
Excuse me? What?
It's closer to the coast than this.
I don't listen to
I'm not good at geography. It's the last day, Opal. What do you want from me?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think individual failures also kind of plagued AG.Y a little bit in this one. I pointed out the damage numbers that were being done and how Chenon had the most on Puppet Master. That's worrying.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's also because you didn't do damage because you didn't take a fight.
Yeah, because we also saw A's there. The A's was actually the #1 damage carry, but that's because you're siphoning life almost every fight. At that point, you're always tethering to somebody to siphon some life, and then you just jump out.
But they never let the tether stick for very long, and I think that does speak volumes about the mobility, the slipperiness that KSSC had.
Well, and you saw it doesn't do any damage. It's just a little bit of damage. That takes so long, especially on tanky members.
Yeah.
Without proper items to shred through that, there isn't really a way to use it on tanks.
I think just having a proper engage tool really would have salvaged a lot of those situations. Had they gotten themselves, I don't know, somebody with a big knockup like Toro.
Yeah.
That could have helped out.
Could have went with Totem, too.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, the Totem's an opportunity. Obviously, Dunshan was banned away, but that's a bit more of a defensive support kind of character.
Yeah. I don't know. My big thing was it was AG.Y that actually banned out Totem.
That's true, they did.
They made it so that there was only going to be one major CC option that was meta for them, and I think that was the issue. But we're going to go ahead and get into pick and ban for Game 2. KSSC also now on the blue side will have first pick, holding the hammer in the series.
And all they need to do is strike here. Let's see what the bans end up being. I think they might be able to put some things away from AG.Y. They don't want to give the Yokio back to the other side. and they will ban it. Same side ban for AG.Y.
I think you're pretty much saying, all right, we're gonna go ahead with Feathered Friend at this point.
I mean, they might Lubu it. Made it all the way through last time.
I think the jungle priority's been so high for KSSC. That's where they try and target. And I think for AG.Y, you got to have this in the back of your mind. You saw KSSC play it a bunch during the qualifiers. And to let it go through possibly on the game where if you lose, you're sent home with nothing, that is concerning. We'll see. Final ban for AG.Y for round 1 will be coming in shortly.
If there's anything for a confidence booster and a pick-me-up after that last series for KSSC, it will be closing this one out quickly, getting themselves on the board with a nice, clean 2-0 to earn that $20,000.
It'd be a nice confident boost. You know, you were coming in as one of those favorite teams only to fall.
Oh, the Tyrant ban, okay.
I don't know if the Tyrant is necessarily like the biggest one to be going for. It's powerful, but it's still, I understand.
It's been a constant from AG.Y. I think they just don't want to put that into the hands of KSSC, but they leave Old Master open, and now we know that side lane pressure will continue. I mean, this is exactly the same style that Wuji played on the Yukio, that 1v1 me bro mentality.
Wuji might actually switch into a side lane here. That one, I believe he did it once on Old Master during the qualifiers last month in Shanghai. I want to see what AG.Y though prioritize. You have just a plethora of options you can go for. You can go for, you know, an assassin jungle. You can go for the Lubu in the side lane. You have options. The Pang Yu.
Gongsun Lee very quickly locked in. And, we do have the bird person.
That's the issue. Bird person, Gongsun Lee's dead.
Yeah.
Dead for the first 10 minutes of this game. If she's over the halfway point on the map, will be killed.
Yeah, this is definitely troubling. I think AG.Y, they're just kind of trusting that we need to snap up as many power picks as possible. The Lubu comes in from Wuji as well as we enter the second ban phase.
AG.Y actually going with a new style of support that we haven't seen just yet in the tournament. We'll touch on it in just a second, but we see the Book Mage actually being banned out here by AG.Y, and we see the Pig being put back into the pen.
I think that's what KSSC want. They have a lot of frontline here, and they're not going to be able to shred frontline on the opposite side quite as easily. Obviously, at the moment, the biggest, beefiest guy is going to be Pengu, and I don't know if that's going to be enough. AG.Y are going to need to find answers. Another ban still available for themselves now that they've gotten rid of the Book Mage.
We'll get rid of the books possibly. We'll see. I want to see what AG.Y... I'm just so concerned. This comp from KSSC is already tier 1s, SS tier in some regards.
Yeah,
all three of their picks.
Okay, so it's just focusing on the supports. But there's so many supports. KSSC they can pick up the Totem. They can pick up Toro. There's options for them available in this one. And they have one more ban left to throw.
Yeah, the Dakio was the one that was actually picked up there by the side of AG.Y.
Also, Marco Polo's still up.
Yeah, you could go Marco Polo. It did well for KSSC, so yeah, if it's utilized.
I mean, I honestly think it's a no-brainer at this point.
Well, might as well because...
Yeah. Up against the Gongsun Lee, you're going to be fine.
And honestly, it wasn't even banned. It could have been banned out here by AG.Y.
Yeah, they focus so much on supports and that one Book Mage. It's interesting.
All right, AG.Y.
Yeah.
What do you got? You've shown your support. You've shown your marksman. You've shown possibly your jungle. Show me your mid. Or do you want to try and save it for a counter?
They might want to do that and go for like a defensive support early on. Like the Dun Shen is still available.
Totem. They could even go for the Nimro.
Yeah, they
could go for the Toro.
They could. I mean, if they want the early engage, but I wonder if they want to try and play back and like say like, you know, you have to come to us this time.
Well,
which
just
clearly
having
KSSC
that
will do.
disengage with that ultimate, I think, is the bigger point here for AG.Y. Because that was used offensively a lot by KSSC last game. Anytime AG.Y
it's
did
very
try.
true. It's very true, and they're taking their time. I think they're having the same conversation right now, Opal.
For AG.Y, again, one pick here could be. The thing is, though,
Totems.
you're going you're already showing support. I don't get this comp because Totem you go for a support roam.
Oh
no!
Frost Mage looking for Wu Wei at the moment.
You're more concerned about that disable being ran.
Yeah, because we've seen this before. We've seen this before from KSSC. They styled on INTZ from Brazil using this style of composition, 5 manning the bot lane. Call it cheese, but it can work. Okay, they were having fun with us. Good.
Yeah, we're not going to see the Omega equivalent in AOV being picked up here.
More like the Omega LOL equivalent.
Yeah, that was rough.
Oh, Shengmen Chi. We forgot about Shengmen Chi.
Okay, it's going to get picked up. Interesting.
I mean, that's a lot of damage.
Are they going to actually try and go with Emperor? Hey?
Yeah, they might too. I mean, one Tae was banned. They're going to take up the Emperor instead.
They're going Emperor. Okay. This comp is weird, Pyra.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it.
You know, I mean, look, there's two options at play here, Opal. One, there's like this secret strategy that AG.Y have prepared for their last-ditch effort, their absolute trump card. Or two, mental boom. It's
so weird. I'm not too sure what their plan is here.
I mean, they're definitely taking their time. They've actually let the timer max out on almost every one of their picks in this situation. KSSC, by comparison, very fast, very confident. Yeah, they'll be still smarting from the fact that they didn't get that last win, but...
Are they going to... they might be playing the mage in mid lane.
No, last-second swap-up. Here we go. This makes more sense.
Moon Goddess, okay, I can understand that, but you're still putting... You're likely putting the totem into a side lane.
Yeah, and I don't totally hate that. Like, if you're
it's not bad.
Like, he's better at roaming, but he's still serviceable.
Yeah, and he can still do the same job in team fights.
Yeah,
is the idea.
Maybe they just want a better 5v5, and they're going to sacrifice a bit of the lane. Like, it feels like a reactive play.
Again, their 5v5 though is like your late game is keep the Gongsong Li alive.
Yeah.
There is a predator, a bird of prey,
an actual
on the
bird
map
of prey
that is going to come and tear her apart. Once that umbrella is used, especially the circle one, if that's thrown, wait for the blink back, instant engage.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why they want to get a little bit of added protection there, but this is going to be a lot of pressure on the Moon Goddess to kind of get them to that point of the game, to the late stage where Gongsong Li starts to take off on 3 items.
Yeah. But again, positioning can cost you everything, and that's the other issue.
And we've seen AG.Y make a lot of mistakes in positioning, not just in this series, throughout the course of the tournament. It's happened. Honestly, I think KSSC, they're flexing their muscles at the moment. They feel like they can take this in a 2-0.
Well, we'll go see here. They might be mad, Pyra, but they are only 1 core away from taking home $20,000 as we take our flight across the valley. Xiaoyi already looking to hunt.
Way forward positioning. AG.Y are going to take the opposite side. Xiaoyi does spot them out here. And we're off. Potentially the final game of today for Honor of Kings here at the WCG 2019. Wuji already starting to lob bombs.
Yeah, early game. Chen Yan is really, really squishy on the Moon Goddess. Xiaoyi, though, steals away the blue buff, and that is rough. 1C, though, has already gone in here and stolen away himself.
Man, nobody saw that one coming. It was quick. It's like a seagull dive bombing a pizza.
1C going to back off here. Wuji, was that a flash in?
Oh, no, 1C, he's dead.
1C? 1C? Wu-wei!
Xiao even gets away.
What?
Oh, he ducks under the turret.
Oh, I don't know why 1C ran toward the lane and not through the jungle. I'm actually confused there. So that's first blood going to KSSC. Not how you want to start things here on the side of AG.Y.
Oh boy, KSSC looking real good here, and they even turn away Chen on attempt to steal away some of this jungle. Wuji and AG will just go for the 1v1. Meanwhile, that duo in the top, that's where the action will be for a bit.
Yeah, this is really, you're funneling a lot here onto the Gongsong Li as much as possible, it seems here.
You need to accelerate the pace. It's the only way you have a chance of getting this one.
We'll see here, decent amount of damage.
Xiaoyi is everywhere, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, this is the issue. It is really, it's near impossible to deal with him at the moment with what we've seen in the meta.
And it's not very far into this game. It's kind of terrifying. Just waiting to see if
Ace
pushes in a little further forward.
He's saying, hey, if you're hurt, I'm coming in to finish you off. Even onto a tank like A's. We'll see here. KSSC might be a little far forward, but that is 4 members against 3, and Xiaoyi looking for possibly a fight here. A's comes over, gets a little bit of a knock-up, but still not a whole lot of damage coming out from your tank.
Yeah, both of these teams are just looking for skirmishes at the moment. Xiaoyi will look to find it, but he's taking a little low at this point, has to scooch his way away, and Wuji might just sacrifice himself. This is good for AG.Y. The Moon Goddess gets on the board.
Moon Goddess is going to be able to pick up the kill, and that's going to be very helpful for AG.Y in the mid lane. A little bit of a weird amount of miscommunication, I think, coming out there from the side of KSSC. It looked like Xiaoyi wanted to go for a fight, but at the same time, just wasn't a smart idea, and it forces Wuji to have to give up his life.
This is going to start to snowball a little bit. This Tyrant can be started for free now by AG.Y. A's even guarding behind the pit, and there's no vision of this.
No vision. Does see the particles, so they do know that's actually happening. We'll see, though. Wuji's coming over, and unfortunately, it's already gone, so Tyrant going in favor of AG.Y.
You know, making the most of that gifted kill here, although A's got to be careful not to overstep his bounds. I think he gets away.
Up toward the top lane. I believe that was the ultimate being used by 2Zs you guys saw on the minimap. And Wu-wei Has to be careful here.
Oh, this is Tower 1. AG.Y, they're actually keeping the pressure on for a second. Not able to finish it just yet.
Oh, that's hella cool.
Yeah, that was a big old bait and switch.
You can recall. You can double recall with her.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Well, first time for everything, isn't there, Opal?
Yeah.
Even on the last day of the tournament, we can still learn new things.
So quick double recall gets them back to the base. Maybe was not anticipating to actually do the recall because they could have went for a dive.
I honestly thought they would at that point. It looked like they had the numbers to make it happen, but they did back away.
Xiaoyi in the jungle, double buff secured. Just going to continue to farm, build items, and you just have so much speed here on Xiaoyi. That's the thing, you can fly over walls.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be bound by the limitations of physics. You just flap over all of them.
Well, you still use physics to fly.
It's a different kind of physics. Air physics.
Air physics. We'll see here. Wu-Wei is isolated all alone, and this is the issue with the old master early on. He is exploitable and will be taken down. Xiaoyi, though, looking to lay a trap. Look up toward top lane, too. We do have multiple members of the side of AG.Y going in for a dive underneath the tower. It's still not enough there. Xiao H able to just keep as much of the turret alive, and the double recall gets them back to base.
Yeah. AG.Y getting little advantages here and there, but not able to put enough of it away. We had a physics lesson earlier. We had a math lesson down on the bottom side with that 3-on-1. Definitely superior numbers winning in that situation. AG.Y not giving up on this top tower push just yet. Wuji, very low health bar, trying to contest them.
Bit of a risky one. That's going to be, of course, the recall armed, possibly. Xiaoyi taking a decent amount of damage. Does have to back off, will be able to regain some health in the jungle and might have to tussle over this blue buff as it is being aggressed upon here by the Gongsong Li. Wuxi over toward the side, not able to steal that one away as it is secured onto the marksman.
Yeah, Shig's able to pick this one up. So far, doing a good job of staying alive in the Gongsong Li, but that's also because Xiaoyi has not gone hunting for her just yet. It's been around everywhere else.
I think he's been trying to, but there's been a lot of support coming up on toward AG.Y.
I love when the totem guy just charges. He's just coming through.
Coming through, how you doing?
Yep. Can't stop me now.
Oh,
and
look at this.
Looks like this is a big push to the bottom side. AG.Y will secure that first brick for themselves.
I have finally figured out what this ultimate does, Pyra. It teleports teammates to you. So that is why we've seen AG.Y have numbers advantages almost on every fight is because of this support pickup here.
Yeah, you know what's better than moving fast? Teleporting.
That's it. Every time they teleport, they go lane to lane. It's a lot of power in this kit. And look at that. Oh,
Goodbye, Pangu.
Gets isolated and is going to get taken down here.
Xiao is doing a great job of just face tanking and absorbing so much damage on that Dun Shan. Let's see if Chenan's going to get away. I don't think so. Wuji taps out. And it looks like he does get away, but that was a very close miss for Chenan.
Not able to beat them down right away. Gets back to safety with the flash. Kills though 2-2. Looking for the Moon Goddess. Xiao, you got to be careful. That target does come out, even with the ultimate being used by Wuxi is going to pick up the kill with the long-range bomb.
Yeah, you don't have to go hunting for yourself if the bomb can come and secure the job. 3-2 now in the kills. And A's is bringing his teammates, and that's going to be the turnaround. Wu-Wei
going fast. There's no tower, but they're too fast for AG.Y.
He goes pretty fast for an old man, that's for sure.
There it
dead,
is.
And that's the hunt down on the Gongsong Li.
And this is what we were afraid of here for the side of AG.Y is Xiaoyi. Once he hunts down members, it's hard to get away, especially in a odd number scenario where the odds are against you.
And now they can take down the towers. This is KSSC starting to move up now. The Tyrant will be traded.
Very important Tyrant call coming out from AG.Y. They need to equalize something here. Luckily for them, KSSC actually don't push for a second-tier tower.
Yeah, that was a mistake from KSSC. They really should have committed to that one. There was no way it was going to be a full contest. They at least get chip damage on the tower, but they decide to move back into the mid lane and try to take this fight.
AG.Y gets a nice double knock-up onto two members of KSSC. Not a full engage. Ultimate's going to come out, gets a little bit of damage here. As the turret's going to be shielded there by Zhao. We have Wuji just jumping into the fray with the Lubu ultimate.
Wuji doesn't afraid of anything at this point. He's got a big old Lubu. He may only be level 9, but this just shows that KSSC are confident in their engagement. Xiaoyi looking for more picks, doesn't fully commit to it. The Chenan does move down to the safety of the tower.
We see Xiaoyi going fast here. 1C though, waiting in a brush, and that's a decent amount of damage. Goes over the wall as well, and he takes things down. The bird is hunted and will be poached, and up in top lane, that's going to be what it is, and they get them right back to safety into the base with a double recall.
AG.Y doing a great job of keeping pace this game. We talked about their early game being a historical weakness. This time around, they've still made mistakes, but they've managed to triumph just as much.
And now Overlord is going to join us here for Game 2, team still close to dead even. It's only some turrets and some tyrants in favor of AG.Y. KSSC, reminder, they only need the 1 game win to take home the victory here in 3rd place. AG.Y want to force that final game 3 into a decider match.
Right you are, Opal, and they will opt into taking this fight, and it's going to be the Zhengmenji taking down Wuji, face-checking it forward.
That's what you not need. Unfortunately, our bomber getting caught out once again. Xiaoyi, does he actually want to try and go for this? Look at that.
I think they want to get the turret instead. Old Master's able to secure this one up, and there might be another fight come through the river here as AG.Y look for the chase.
Xiaoyi trying to run away, trying to evade everything, but he's going to get taken down.
How do you hunt the hunter? With better numbers, Opal. They just keep going for the bird.
Up top lane, though, they got to worry about Lubu's going to get that push in. Not going to fully commit, though, as the rotation comes over toward the Overlord here for AG.Y.
All right. Slow down the pace for just a second. AG.Y want to secure themselves that Overlord. They're in a good position to do it. They might have to fight, but they can secure the entrance of this pit. Tooz is guarding it as that big bomb comes in. It really only helps out AG.Y, and that will be the Overlord going to the red side team.
And a quick recall, too. We'll get the team back in favor. And AG.Y with their first Overlord buff of the series. This is the first. We've not seen AG.Y in the driver's seat. How does KSSC now have to deal with this circumstance, and how do they turn it around?
They can't fight out in the open. They need to try and secure a pick and then stall things out until those mini dragons disappear. Then they can get back in the offensive position. But crucially, as this happens, the Tyrant is about to respawn. This is a really important one, a Dark Tyrant coming up here. Can't afford to give it away, not with a 3 Tyrant advantage already for AG.Y.
AG.Y now positioning themselves split across the map. It looks like KSSC are the ones that want to try and go for a play here. 4 members, but guess what? That's an instant teleport down toward the bot lane.
Oh my goodness.
With that rotation, they should be able to go ahead and get the 2nd tier tower.
That is brilliant. They just bait them and switch it around, and they get that tower completely for free. Now they just have to watch if they're going to get sandwiched, but I think that AG.Y are content with doing it.
They won't be able to take a fight here. AG.Y just get out of dodge all the way back to the base.
They do lose Zhengmenji. They do lose their Pengu, but that's about it. A mid-tower does fall. AG.Y, they're doing exactly what KSSC did last time, not letting them get into the fight. However, the Dark Tyrant has been started.
And this is the first time we're seeing this teleport mage come into the tournament, Pyra. It wasn't on anybody's notes. KSSC, I don't think they were prepared, but they're still going to try and force here on the Dark Tyrant. AG.Y split apart here by Xiaoyi.
It's reset.
Wuxi is able to go toward the side. Shake still alive, very low though, and will be taken down in the 1v1 as KSSC finally find the carry.
KSSC needed that one. They can't afford to complete the Dark Tyrant, but they can at least stop AG.Y from securing it for now. The number advantage is there. They try to keep this one aggroed, but the second wind's coming in.
The thing they got to worry about is they're going to be a massive amount of minions toward the top side. You have a double dragon now going to push in toward that top tier tower. Looks like Wuji is going to go ahead and deal with it, but that allows AG.Y to go ahead and take a fight. That's going to be an instant knockback coming out from Luigi.
No hesitation.
Nobody, but unfortunately, that is actually a quick recall, and I think that actually worked against their favor here for AG.Y.
Yeah, sometimes you got to slow down and think, should we teleport? Not could we teleport? And AG.Y kind of burned themselves a little bit on this one, so they've been run around the map by the likes of KSSC. Things are
Honestly,
slowing down.
I would have loved to see AG.Y just teleport up toward that top side.
They're going for the Dark Tyrant.
There we go.
This is the play right now. There's no reaction.
Everyone joining in onto the fight. KSSC.
He can't steal this.
Nah, he can't.
No, this is a huge advantage. Dark Tyrant just shy of the 12-minute mark. They can keep the pressure on, even though the side lanes have been dealt with. KSSC will not be in a great position to take the straight-up fight unless Xiaoyi can find an early pick. That item does get completed.
Yeah, I do see. I believe that's the Master's Force being finished off. So that's going to allow for the additional damage off an ability proc. And especially with that bleed effect, I think it stacks too. So it's a very big chunk of damage that comes out on the first target he hits. That requires him, though, to get the kill. If it doesn't pay off, then he's got nothing.
They need a pick. And they've been able to do it, but I mean, you're starting to get into that territory that Gongsun Lee's going to get those 3 items soon if she doesn't already have them.
Oh, look at this, KSSC. 2 members for the side.
No.
They're looking to jump on in. That's a lot of shielding there, but unfortunately, I don't think the shielding works to their advantage, and there it is. It's going to be the quick kill. They have the teleport, though. Here comes the rest of the team as KSSC now have to deal with just the massive onslaught of AG.Y porting on in.
2
and
for
turn
1.
It 1.
Oh, my word. Just when you think KSSC finally find an advantage, Xiaoyi loses 2 of his teammates. And it's 15 seconds to Overlord. Opal, what is this game?
AG.Y, they're pulling out the cheese, and I love it. KSSC, they're the ones to try and run down a lane earlier on in our tournament. Now they have to deal with the just surprise factor. You can say it's a 2v2 in the top lane against a support and a tank, but in reality, it's going to turn into a 5v1.
Yeah, 7-7 in kills, and the gold is bang on even, about 1,000 separating, but that's so minimal at this point. With the Overlord up, it's going to come down to this fight. Everyone's going to be respawned at the moment. Ultimate's fully, well, now that Xiaoyi uses it, not so much anymore on the side of KSSC, but it will be matched by AG.Y. And this is going to be a very impactful fight coming in. A big push up to the top, of that
Overlord
teleport's
call.
coming through. They're going to try to bring him out.
Overlord call is here. Rest of the team.
They don't both go. They can't. Ace is going to lose his life.
He's going to try and stall as long as possible. Goes into the defensive stance with the rest of the team on top of the Overlord. Desperation almost here. Lubu ultimate going to jump in. Wuji pretty low. It goes over to KSSC. They steal away the Overlord.
And that might be the chance for them to take this 2-0 after all. They've got a long way to climb, but what a heck of a steal from Wuji.
And with that, that's going to be the mini Drakes now pouring into the lanes. And for AG.Y, it looks so promising, but the clutch play coming out from Wuji with the ultimate to steal it away.
All those teleports, and they couldn't secure the Overlord. It was so close. A tower will fall in the mid, and now the mini dragons keep on coming.
It looked good for AG.Y. Now they have to deal. They still have a gold lead, but you can almost feel the tempo just stall to a dead stop here on their side with that secure going in favor of KSSC.
Yeah, that gold lead's gone now, by the way.
Yeah,
that's how slim it was.
Now 500 in favor of KSSC, and they're looking to add more as they steal away some of the jungle camps here in AG.Y's blue side jungle.
Yeah, man, I liked what AG.Y did. We didn't know about this teleport mage coming into the game, and it's managed to really provide some trickery and misdirection for AG.Y. They've been able to play around a lot of the carries, a lot of the danger, but when KSSC are mad, they just take that fight. Now here's the bait, here's the trap, 2s and 1. C aren't going to get it.
Oh no!
Shen is caught!
You
Goodbye,
can't
Moon!
Get caught like that, AG.Y. What's going on here? Rest of the team, though, that's going to be the teleports coming in from the rest of the squad, as I think that's a panic ult being used. Because guess what? They have to get back into the base.
Yeah, I mean, that was a 1v2 situation. Wuji honestly could have been in some trouble, although he was holding his own. Without Chen on, this is dangerous right now. You need that damage from the Moon Goddess, and Wuji's just going to push it on down the top side. This is going to be KSSC looking to close it out on 2 of the lanes.
AG.Y trying to defend what they can. Shig on this. Gongsung Lee should now have the items available, but is it going to be enough? Because Wuji's going assassin build Lubu at this point. If he jumps in on top of this carry, instant kill.
You might as well at this point. A lot of the conventions are out the window. Wu Wei has not played the side lane Old Master. They've kept him with the team because Xiaoyi is just better at getting around that map a lot faster. The old man's knees aren't going to be what they used to.
And Dark Tyrant was soloed there by the side of Xiaoyi, so that's also going to be now in favor of KSSC, turning this dead even game now into a 3,000 gold lead advantage. Look at this, though. AG.Y want to try and catch out Wu Wei, but he can stall out for a very long period of time.
Yeah, I mean, how bad must it feel for you as AG.Y? They really had everything and more, and they lose it all now.
They get
the
one.
Lubu does go down, though. Here's the opportunity, but the rest of KSSC are coming to call. That ultimate to teleport people away does not find onto Shig, and that is the last thing you want as a Gongsung Lee.
They're doing the same, though, onto Wu Wei. So look at this. Gongsung Lee has actually been able to avoid this fight and might try and turn this one around. Decent chunk of damage, though, coming out here toward the side.
This is chaos.
Uses the ultimate, tries to get back to safety. Should have just stayed, it seems, and that won't pay off.
Yeah, you can't outflap the bird. And another 50 seconds, and we will see an Overlord coming up once again. I think if KSC secure this, it ought to be lights out.
We'll see. 2,000 gold in their pockets, 10 to 8 your kill totals.
Looking for 20,000 in USD for sure if they can finish this one on time, Opal.
What does AG.Y do here? 4 members stacked.
Brush bait. You want to get the ye old Fnatic Death Brush going.
When in doubt, use the dark secrets of yesteryear's famed MOBA tactics, as it were.
It's a classic, but they're not going to do it. They get cold feet. There's just too much damage on this stack from KSSC. Wu Wei holding his own.
The rest of the team are going to
pile
on in.
Xiaoyi. That's too late.
Oh my goodness! And that is why you can't try and lock down the old man anymore, because he just says, you're stuck here with me, actually.
Yeah, back in my days, Sonny, we respected our elders, I think, and they just find out what happens if they do disrespect. That tower should fall to the minions soon enough, and they don't need the Overlord. They've got the numbers to just end the game.
They have minions down in the bot lane. Minions starting to pour in from mid. 3v5, AG.Y holding on to dear life, but the poke is coming out here from Wuji, able to get a decent amount of damage. Lubu ultimate into the back line. Xiaoyi tries to get a little bit of damage, but look at bot lane now. That's going to be the minions taken forth into the base themselves, and AG.Y have to back off.
Looking for that third medal right now. KSSC are not going to take any unnecessary risks. They've seen that movie before. In the last series against V-Star, mistakes cost them dearly, sent them to this series, in fact, but they will go for the Overlord, and look at how powerful Xiaoyi is, could solo this thing.
Unfortunately for AG.Y, it's not looking good. The dark clouds are swirling. It's looking grim. It's looking deadly.
It's always darkest before dawn, but I think at this point it's about to be good night
We'll
for
see.
AG.Y.
Overlord Vanguard's now going to be spawned. 1C just trying to clear out the side lane. AG.Y stacked as 3 toward top. Going to add Moon Goddess to the totals. Split push going to start being formed here for KSSC as now the mini Drakes are going to start pushing back in their favor.
But you can't afford to defend on only a couple of lanes. You've got no tower at all in the bottom. You have an exposed core there. Top lane is where you are actually in the best position because you still have 2. You need to stretch yourself out, but you run the risk of stretching yourself thin.
So we see KSSC taking their time here, not looking for the gutsy play. Gonna
Flip up.
maybe now go in for the knockback onto 1C, but here comes Shake over toward the side, and Xiaoyi taking a lot of damage here. The turret's going to go on down, and you got this Gong Song Li trying to kite on back, but she's going to get taken down by Xiaoyi, and there it is. It's going to be 1-0 here at this point. Rest of the team goes on back into the base.
Separate the teleport mage from the Gongsun Lee. That way you can only save one of them at this point, and it's going to be KSSC.
Oh, Wu-Wei!
But Wu-Wei taken out by the Pangu.
There you go. That's one member down. That's what you need for here on the side of AG.Y. But the Goddess is going to be popped once again. Gets the stasis back. Will be rejoining onto the fight. AG.Y want to try and go for this.
This is the last shot
here for 2Z. Over toward the side. Xiaoyi onto the back line. Able to find it. And that's all you wrote here on the side of AG.Y.
That's going to be an opal.
Keep on the pressure, but no minions in the base just yet. Wuji wants to keep on going. Xiaoyi waiting for a little
Guys,
bit.
let me take a red buff. Let's slow this one down.
That's the thing here. KSSC, they're so close, but they're mistiming it on the minion push.
They're just going to go and take a Tyrant, chill it out a little bit. Unfortunately, they didn't have the timing like you said, but they still won that fight against AG.Y. And it's honestly double lane exposed core. Those high ground towers do not respawn. I think this is going to be GG, barring a miracle of a fight.
Xiaoyi hiding here in the bush. Dark Tyrant secured by KSSC. It's a 8,000 gold lead, 21 minutes on the clock. 5 kills more in favor of KSSC. Only 1 tower remains on the side of AG.Y, and then it is just their core that separates them from defeat and separates KSSC from $20,000.
Looking to close the trap here. The Lubu on the side lane. The Zhengmingji in the mid. The rest of the team sniffing for those picks.
Xiaoyi gets a little aggressive, is backed off though as 1C comes by. Says hello. Ooh, Shake, gotta be careful with that. Jumps over the wall, gets back to safety though. But here we go. Minions starting to push. They have again the speed buff. They're going in. They want to try and go for it. Lubu ultimate comes on back, and they're able to find themselves a very quick kill onto the Gong Song Li, and that should be it. Your third place victors in our final game of the day. KSSC take home 20K.
Well earned is all I can say. When they decided to finish the job, nobody's more decisive than KSSC in that one, and you could see the bird flapping to victory at the end.
And there you go, your post-game stats. MVP going on to Xiaoyi.
Oh, no-brainer.
Takes flight and secures victory for the squad. And even with the unique pick coming out from 2Z, it just wasn't enough here for AG.Y. It looked promising at the beginning, Pyra.
I like what they did, especially when you consider the previous game, they really didn't do that much of anything. They tried for a couple of token fights, nothing worked out, nothing went right, and then they just effectively gave up. They slumped back in their seats, and you hate to see that kind of thing. Coming into Game 2, they showed some real spirit there, Opal. They decided on a different kind of strategy, one that eluded us as well as I think KSSC, and eventually it got figured out. It got sniffed out. KSSC just said, you know what, enough of this trickery. We're just going to barge down the front door.
Well, and it looked good early game. Like the Dark Tyrants, just the regular Tyrants were going in their favor. They secured both the early ones.
They almost got the Overlord, but again, Overlord is what sunk them because they
Yeah.
lost it out to that steal. That's where the tide started to turn.
Yeah, and I like the idea. Teleport the entire team, take another objective, try and do something. Because that bot lane rotation, that was beautiful.
Well,
where
they flipped
were
back and forth a couple of times.
Yeah, and that's all it really took. But then it just kind of fell apart once you mentioned it.
Yeah.
And they even tried to go for some fights again.
I mean, it is like we talked about Fnatic Deathbrush and your old yesteryear MOBA
When in
strategies.
doubt.
Here's the thing, though. Another old MOBA strategy, gank the teleport. And it worked.
Every time. We'll see, though. And like we mentioned, KSSC are going to be our third place here at WCG 2019 in Xi'an. They, of course, were not able to make our grand final, but that will be taking place tomorrow, though, between D Team and V-Star.
10 a.m. We'll see you there. That's all from us. Thanks so much for watching the WCG.